My dad was invited to a live cooking show. Halfway through, it turned into a massacre. My dad, Marcus, got selected to be a contestant on a live cooking competition called Kitchen Masters last month, and our whole family was invited to watch the taping. I was so excited because my dad had been practicing his signature pasta recipe for weeks, and this was his chance to win $50,000. The show was filmed at a fancy studio downtown, and they gave us VIP seats right behind the judges' table. My mom took the day off work, and my twin brother Tyler and I got permission to skip school. We'd never been to a real TV set before, so we were taking pictures of everything. The host was this energetic guy named Chef Romano who kept making jokes and high-fiving the contestants. There were 12 people competing, including my dad, and they each had their own cooking station. The challenge was to prepare a 3-course meal in 2 hours. My dad was doing great in the first hour. He'd finished his appetizer and was working on his main course when I noticed something weird. One of the camera operators had been standing in the same spot for 20 minutes, filming the audience instead of the cooking. Then I saw him reach into his camera bag and pull out a pistol with a silencer. Before I could process what was happening, he shot Chef Romano in the back of the head. The host dropped to the floor instantly, blood pooling around his body. For a split second, nobody moved. Everyone thought it was some kind of prank. Then the screaming started. More fake camera operators appeared from different positions, all pulling out weapons. The contestants were trapped behind their cooking stations, and the audience was boxed in. The studio doors had been locked from the outside. "Nobody move!" one of the shooters yelled. "This is now a live execution, streaming to every Kitchen Masters viewer across the country." The cameras were still rolling. Millions of people watching at home were seeing this happen in real time, thinking it was part of the show. The shooters had planned this perfectly, disguising themselves as crew members. They forced all the contestants, including my dad, to stand in a line behind their cooking station. Then they made the judges and audience sit on the floor. My mom grabbed Tyler and me, pulling us down. "We're going to play a little game," the lead shooter announced to the camera. "Each contestant has 60 seconds to convince America why they deserve to live. Viewers can vote by calling the number on screen. Whoever gets the least votes dies." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They'd turned murder into a twisted reality show, making viewers choose who lived or died. Phone numbers appeared on screen, and the production crew followed orders at gunpoint. My dad was third in line. The first contestant, a young woman named Sarah, sobbed as she begged for her life. She talked about her 2 kids and studying to become a nurse. When they shot her anyway, I realized the voting was fake. They were going to kill everyone, but wanted to torture them first. The second contestant tried to run and got shot execution style. Then it was my dad's turn. He looked directly into the camera and said something that made my blood run cold. "I know my family is watching this. Marcus, Tyler, Sarah, I love you all, but this isn't real. None of this is real. Look around you." At first I thought he meant the voting wasn't real, which we knew. But then I started noticing things that didn't make sense. The blood wasn't spreading naturally. Some audience members sat too still, like mannequins. And why hadn't anyone's phones worked? That's when the plot twist hit me. One of the shooters pulled off his mask, revealing the show's executive producer. "Ladies and gentlemen, you've just participated in the most realistic psychological study ever conducted on live television. We wanted to see how people would react to extreme violence when they thought it was real. But something was wrong with his explanation. The blood looked too real. Chef Romano's body hadn't moved at all, and there was a smell that special effects couldn't fake." My dad looked genuinely terrified, not relieved. Then I realized the truth. The social experiment story was the fake part. This really was a planned massacre, but they were using the experiment explanation to keep cameras rolling and prevent people from calling police. They wanted to broadcast as many deaths as possible. The producer put his mask back on and